Have you ever noticed how LGBT people love like it's their full-time job? Like, even after being emotionally wrecked 5 times in a row, you're still out here sending heart emojis like it's an Olympic sport. You'd think after heartbreak number 3, your heart would say, "Girl, we're closed for renovation. Please check back next season." But nope, you keep showing up, like a cat who gets kicked out but somehow finds its way home again. So, the real question is, why do LGBT hearts keep loving even after being broken so much? Maybe it's not just about love. Maybe it's about survival.
You used to believe love was magic, like pure Disney-level magic. The kind of thing that would just happen one day while you're minding your own business, sipping iced coffee, and boom, someone appears, and suddenly your life has background music. But it didn't go that way, did it? Because at some point, love started feeling less like a fairy tale and more like a bad Wi-Fi connection. One moment, it's full bars. You're texting nonstop, laughing at inside jokes, thinking, wow, maybe this is it. And the next moment, disconnected. You're standing at your phone, wondering if delivered always meant ignored. You sit there, replaying every message, trying to figure out when good morning love turned into radio silence. Your first love was supposed to be it, the real one, the one you tell your future self about. Except, plot twist, it was more like a trial version that expired after 30 days. You thought it was forever. They thought it was just exploring. You stayed up late writing poetry in your notes app like a hopeless romantic. They stayed up late texting someone else named Bestie Heart. You cried, screamed into your pillow, and then promised yourself never again. But you know how that goes. Because never again in your world really means until next week. And next week did come, with a new person, a new hope, and that same butterfly feeling that you swore you'd never let back in. Then came heartbreak number 2, the one that really changed the weather inside you. That's the one that taught you how to say, "It's fine, I'm fine," while crying into a bowl of instant ramen at 2 a.m. You tried to heal by deleting their number, then re-adding it 2 hours later because what if they text? Your friend said, "You need to stop falling for emotionally unavailable people." And you were like, "Yeah, you're right." Right before texting another walking red flag with good lighting and emotional damage levels higher than your phone battery. But the truth is, it wasn't really about them. It was about that moment, that spark, where someone finally looked at you and saw the version of you you've always wanted to believe existed. Someone who made you feel like you weren't too much or not enough, like your love wasn't something that needed explaining. So yeah, you laughed it off, you made jokes about it, turned your heartbreak into memes, posted healing era quotes like you were thriving, when really you were just surviving. Because humor is easier than saying, "Every almost love chips away at something I'm scared to lose, my ability to believe." And still, you try again. You put your heart back out there, wrapped in sarcasm and self-awareness, but still beating, still hoping. Because somewhere deep down, you believe that maybe, just maybe, love could finally see you if the world ever learned to stop looking away.
Then one night, you just stop. No crying, no ranting, no overanalyzing the last scene on their chat. You just stare at your screen, thumb frozen mid-scroll, and it hits you. You're tired. Not the kind of tired sleep can fix, but the kind that lives somewhere between your ribs and your chest. You find yourself scrolling through old photos, you and your ex, smiling like you actually believed love would fix everything. And for the first time, you don't feel angry. You don't even feel sad. You just see two people who really tried. Two versions of you. One who wanted to love and one who didn't yet know how. You start to wonder, maybe it's not that you keep choosing the wrong people. Maybe you keep choosing hope. Because that's what you were taught to do, wasn't it? When you grew up being told your kind of love was too much, you learned to fight for it, to prove it wasn't wrong, that it deserved to exist. You learned to love like a rebellion. Every "I love you" you've ever said wasn't just a romantic thing, it was a protest. A quiet, powerful act against shame, against silence, against a world that still doesn't always know what to do with your softness. And then suddenly it hits you. Maybe you've never been naive for loving too much. Maybe you've just been brave. Because in a world that taught you to hide, you kept choosing to open your heart anyway. You start to see it now. Every broken LGBT heart isn't just a story of pain. It's a record of how much you've dared to feel. Because in a world that keeps telling you to toughen up, you still choose tenderness. And that's kind of revolutionary. Maybe that's why your love always feels deeper, louder, brighter. Because when your very existence was once treated as too much, every time you love, you're quietly saying, "I'm still here." You love not just to find someone, but to prove that you can. To prove that your heart still works, even after everything. And even when it hurts, you keep showing up. Because deep down, you know love is the only place where you get to be fully you. No masks, no explanations, no toning it down. Just you and all your chaotic, beautiful, complicated glory. So maybe LGBT hearts don't actually break more. Maybe they just feel more. Because every time they shatter and heal again, they stretch. A little wider, a little softer. Big enough to hold both the pain and the hope. So maybe that's the secret. You keep loving, not because you forgot how much it hurt, but because somewhere inside, you still believe it can be different next time. You've been bruised, yes, but never broken beyond repair. Because every time your heart cracks open, something honest spills out. A little more truth, a little more courage. And maybe that's what makes you brave. Not the kind of brave that looks loud or dramatic, but the quiet kind. The kind that keeps choosing love in a world that keeps giving you reasons to stop. Because love, in all its messy, unpredictable, rainbow-colored chaos, was never about finding someone who'd never hurt you. It was about finding someone who sees your cracks and still calls it art. So maybe love isn't just what you do. Maybe love is who you are, a story that keeps rewriting itself, even when the ending still hurts. So tell me, if love has broken you 100 times, would you still open the door one more time?
If you enjoyed this, I'm going to be posting a lot here. I would greatly appreciate it if you could subscribe. Thanks for watching.